Ricky today's just members only real quick. It's been a while. It's actually been months since I've been outdoors. Today's Saturday, March 29th, I think. It's about 55. It's still kind of chilly over here. 12 miles south of San Francisco, Pacifica, California, US of A. It's been a while. So these are just a few of the survivors. After I had my raccoon visit for the first time in like probably 7 years, I haven't seen them in over 10. They came and they took away a lot of my babies. These were so small, or they were still in the egg form, that some were left alone. So I basically put them in this, what is this? This is about 29 gallon. I think I got this at Home Depot tub. I left it outdoors. No water change it's been months. I think last fall was the last time I did any water change. Just left them be, or let them be. Right now the temperature is still not stabilizing. Rain here and there. It'll get in the 40s in the morning. It'll get as warm as mid 60s, but typically I'm just seeing like 48 to like 58 or 62. To me, it's still not, it's still just not warm enough where I want to start agitating the water, meaning changing the water and stuff, but I am going to slowly start doing that. I may do that today or tomorrow. It looks like it's going to rain tomorrow, so maybe I'll do it later today. I'll just see. Just do a partial water change. Like what I had mentioned last week from the car. This is the time, and seasons change. This is when they are at their most vulnerable level. When the seasons are changing, it gets warm and then it gets cooler again, just water temperature fluctuations. And with that, you have water parameter fluctuations as well. So one thing I have noticed is, like, for the first time, typically over the winter, the water hyacinths that I had, like these water hyacinths I had for over a decade now, little by little, some die and then they grow. But over this winter, most of them did not turn brown or yellow. They're still, as you can see, they're still green. They were kind of green all throughout the winter. So, just taking a real quick sip of the nice shochu right now today. It's kind of too chilly for beer, so when it is too chilly for beer, I just resort to some shochu with on the rocks with some nice lemon. This is a New Glory from Sacramento. It's a brewery. I'm just using that glass. But what I do want to do, since it is, so basically they'll start moving around at 44 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 6.6 degrees Celsius. And then when it reaches about like 10 degrees Celsius, about 50, they start moving around. And then around at 60, 15 degrees Celsius, that is when they are kind of like really where they want to be to properly metabolize and digest the food. Again, they are stomakless fish, medakas. So everything that they put in their mouth should come out within about 90 minutes. But again, if they eat when it's too cold, the food gets stuck in their belly and some get ill that way. So you want to really go slow. So right now, I've been starting to feed a little bit, maybe here and there once a day. I have my winter blend here. What is a winter blend? Winter blend is basically, this is a Hikari maintenance, which is low protein, low fat. Why do I feed low protein, low fat during the winter? It's because, or the cooler times, it's because it's easier for them to digest high protein, high fat content foods. It's a lot difficult. It's a lot more difficult for them to break down. So, let me see. I was going to try to make this a quick one, and I think I say, I said it was members only, but maybe I'll just upload it it's for all and all that. So I apologize. But let me just see. Let me just see how just little is good. Since I haven't been doing any water changes, the water temperature is lower, so it doesn't really create the bad bacteria to flourish because they're not really eating too much, they're not really pooping too much. And the one thing you want to avoid now, because the temperature does get kind of warm at times, randomly, there's a chance that the ammonium spike, right? So if they start eating too much too fast, they deposit, and then that turns into ammonia, right? Which is toxic to them. And again, like I said, this water's been in here for months, unchanged. So I really want to make sure that I don't pollute the water. So I just really want to kind of see if they're anxious enough to eat. And I want to make sure there's no leftovers of food. Leftover food basically goes to the bottom and it just kind of rots. So I do have ram's horns in here, and it's a symbiotic relationship. The benefit of ram's horns is what they will do is they'll eat what the medaka's poo, because there's so much nutrients left in there. The reason why there are so many nutrients left in there is because, like I said, they're stomakless fish. So what they eat comes out in about 90 minutes. So there's a lot of beneficial natural nutrients left in their deposits. And then the snails consume that, and then they further break it up into a much easier material for it just breaks everything down. So you have less fouled water getting released from the defecation from the snails. So from food, it goes to medakas, and then it goes to the ram's horns, which further breaks down the food, the nutrients, and you basically just have a moam developing on the bottom of the tank, which does not release too much of nitrates, and then ammonia. So I did have a question about snails. Do they survive? Like I got my ram's horns probably like over a decade ago. I probably got like 10, and they just keep on reproducing, and I just leave them out there, and I'm sure some do pass, but I have never had to go and get more ram's horn. It's just from the same 8 that I had from over a decade ago, so I don't worry about any of that. As you can see, they're eating. And again, you don't want to do this when the water is cold. You don't want to do it later in the day when the water is warm, but and then the temperature drops, because you need to allow at least 2 hours for the food to properly go through their system. Right now it's midday. It's about a little bit past noon Pacifica time, USA, and just observing them, and it's neat to see that I didn't really count them, but I'm sure I had about over 30 little ones swimming around during the last season, and now they have grown, not too much, just because they haven't been eating, because the temperature has been lower during the winter seasons, but they're all looking healthy. Some of them have colored up. Right now in here, there's a mixture there's some red cliffs. And then the darker ones are basically a cross between the midnight frill llamas and the red cliffs. These are Gen 3 and F3s. So once it gets warmer, I'll start scooping them up so I could see them from the side to see how they have developed structural wise. The most important thing, they could look beautiful from the top. The coloration might be perfect, but if the shape is not balance or conform. They're basically deformities. You do not want to use them to bring out the next generation or breed them, right? So that's a lot of the excitement, or the exciting part of the medakas. Just really examining how they have developed. I love keeping medakas outdoors, but unfortunately, because of the raccoon situation, 90% of the medakas I had to bring indoors, and I do have aquariums indoors. I don't enjoy keeping them indoors at all. They belong outdoors. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I do have a bunch indoors. I'm really scared to start this in a bigger, more of a bigger, meaning adding more tubs, and getting hit again. So, all right, enough of me. I'm just going to keep it like a 2-minute-er, but over here, this is the other one. And these are basically just OGs that kind of survived after the attack. This tub used to be full. Now, I don't even know. So let me just sprinkle a little bit and see. These are just mix of, they're starting to come up. The Miyuki line that I've kept for so long, and basically I lost them all from the raccoon attack. Some of the OGs, trust me, this tub over here, the day after the attack, basically most of them are floating and they're gone. Some did survive. And so this is what this is. I have some Yozakuras in here, just random OGs. Some used to be breeders when they were younger, but some in here are like probably 2 years old and whatnot. So, but boy, did I lose so many of my OGs. Yeah, nature does its thing. So they've survived over the winter fine. Again, over here, the water hyacinth, compared to before, they're green. They're not brown or yellow. And the water is really, really pretty still cold. Yeah, it's in the 50s for sure. So, I'm going to try to do a little bit of a water change later on, maybe, and I'll document that as well. But hopefully I'll be back later, and then I'll be doing the food giveaway. Maybe tomorrow for all you members out there. Again, it's just a raffle system. So if you want to become a member, just go on to YouTube and hit the join button, and then there's like a tier 1, tier 2. Basically, the difference is the tier 2, you get 2 tickets instead of 1 when I do raffles. Just Medaka food. I try to do things that it's not available in the U.S. just to keep it interesting. So, all right. Domo arigato. We'll do it again later on or tomorrow. Yeah, Medaka season has begun, so... Oh yeah, Shochu style. Medaka, at MedakaMetal is where I could be found, contacted via Instagram. So hit me up on DM if you have any questions. I will answer every single question. So, domo arigato. Chill outs.